she also sees family, so she adjusts my husband as well. But you'll come in here and you'll see tons of little babies running around, and pregnant women and women nursing, so it's really, really cool. But so this is where she does her adjusting in here, and of course you have the little pillows there for the pregnant mamas, and you know, so it's really cool.
Yeah.
But she went to some chiropractors. They have to get an extra 4 years. I think it's called Webster training.
Oh, okay.
To be certified to adjust pregnant women.
Gotcha. Okay, we're here with Nikki at the Cafe of Life talking about being a doula, natural birth, everything in between. And I want to get into some of the things that our listeners, readers, supporters might not necessarily know. What is a doula and where did the word come from?
Doula is actually Greek for woman servant, and a doula is a labor coach, labor support for a mother that's in labor. And we basically provide emotional and physical support to the woman during the labor process and also to her partner as well. And we help with different pain management techniques, and if, for example, labor stalls, we can try different techniques to get contractions going so that you can possibly avoid certain interventions that could lead to other interventions in the birthing process.
Oh, very nice. So what are some common misconceptions, if any, about doulas?
Well, everyone associates doulas with hippies, and I think especially in the Black community, they think that doulas are just for white girls, and that's totally not the case. Doula is for every woman that wants one. And another common misconception is that we only support natural birth. Our philosophy at North Dallas Doulas Associates is whatever type of birth you want, that's your birth experience, and we'll be with you at whatever you choose. If you want a natural birth, if you want, you decide you want to get an epidural or a C-section, there is support that's going to be with you with every decision you make.
Wow, it's really, really awesome. You don't hear that very often. I think, like you said, there's a misconception that, doula, midwife, and that kind of leads into our next question. Is there a difference between a doula and a midwife? Are they the same? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, there is the difference with the doula and midwife is a midwife is strictly there for the medical needs of the mother and the baby. And the doulas do not do anything medical. We do not do cervical checks. We do not do fetal heart rate monitoring, anything of that nature we don't do. We're strictly there to support you emotionally and physically. And we're similar because usually a mother who wants to hire a midwife usually wants a more intimate setting, and you won't get that in a doctor's office. So they will usually want a home birth or a birthing center birth, and midwives and doulas just kind of go hand in hand.
So what made you want to be a doula?
Well, I had a doula with my daughter. She's almost 2 and going on 30, but she's a character. So I had a doula at my birth, and it completely changed my life. And had I not had my doula, I would not have had that type of birth experience. And so I wanted to be that for other women, and I think women need doulas with them while they're giving birth. I mean, it's truly an amazing thing. So I just wanted to be that support for that mother and father, and because sometimes dads can get a little freaked out. They don't know what's going on, and so if you have a doula there, they can kind of guide you through the process.
Okay, can you talk a little bit about the training that's necessary? But then also, you mentioned that you had a doula at your birth. Well, how did you even know that I want to have a doula? I know what a doula is.
Well, I'll start with the training. The training, there are several organizations that you can go through to get certified to become a doula. The one thing that I highly suggest to anybody that wants to do it is to actually shadow a doula, because it may sound glamorous. At the end of the day, you're there with a new baby and it's so pretty, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on during the birthing process, and you may not like what you see, hear, or smell. So
fair enough.
some people highly suggest shadowing a doula. And there's lots of materials that you have to read. It's kind of like mini medical school in a sense. You know, there's a lot of medical terms you have to learn. But as far as me, I accidentally found out about a doula. It was very random. Thanks to Netflix, I randomly ran across a documentary.
Wow.
And I was like, what?
Why have I not heard about this?
And it was actually called Pregnant in America was the first one I saw. And then everyone knows this, The Business of Being Born by Ricky Lake just completely rocked my world. And so it was just a snowball effect after that. And I found my doula here at Cafe of Life. I actually hired her 2 weeks before I had my baby. Yeah, it was just crazy. So it was awesome. It was awesome.
Very nice. So where can someone go to get more information about, say you said shadowing a doula? How can somebody find information?
Well, they can go to North Dallas NorthDallasDoulas.com, or they can go to our Facebook page, North Dallas Doulas Associates, and like our Facebook page, and get tons of information there.
Very nice. So what would you say has been your most positive experience?
Seeing a baby come into the world. I mean, it is crazy. The smells are amazing. But to see a woman really want her birth, and a specific birth, and actually have that birth, and see life come into the world, I mean, it's truly the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And it humbles you. It really does, because this person has decided that you were going to be that extra person in the room when their child came into the world. So it's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, well, we always like to kind of give a different perspective, or a perspective that maybe people don't think about. Is there such a thing as a male doula? Does that even exist? Should it exist?
Well, there are male doulas.
Really?
Yes, there are male doulas, and should they exist? Hey, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? As to how they got into it, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know of any male doulas.
Okay.
So I'd love to meet one to find out how they decided they wanted to.
Yeah. I would be interested if it was, well, my wife, and I saw one, I wanted to be part. Who knows? But that would be interesting.
I'd love to. Yes, I would. It's a really interesting conversation.
So, last but not least, getting down to the hard facts, because I think that sometimes people get a little intimidated by things that they either don't have experience with or have information on. So, doulas, Cafe of Life, what is the kind of cost? Is insurance involved? Is it something that...
Well, for anyone that's interested on our prices, they can go to our website, and they can send us an email, and we can talk about pricing information. Some insurances do cover the cost of a doula. A lot of people don't know that. So it's just a labor support. Sometimes doctors will actually write you a prescription for a doula, which is awesome. Yeah. So you just have to know to ask those questions.
Yeah.
But cost varies. It depends on, if the person's new at being a doula, if they have 20 years experience. Depends on where they live. If they're out in, I don't know, what's some random town that's like country town?
Hudson.
Yeah. So if they're out in Hudson versus Dallas, so it just really depends. They're the factors are just, there are many different factors.
Very nice. So it seems that there's a lot of information to be had and to be gained. We encourage everyone to visit the Cafe of Life's website, as well as call, email with any questions. Nikki, thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.